China's cryptocurrency crackdown. And today we're going to start with the biggest Bitcoin theft in history. So here I am on Yahoo Finance. The founders of South African Bitcoin exchange disappear after a $3.6 billion hack. So what happened here is South Africa may have lost nearly $3.6 billion in Bitcoin. By the way, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. Really supports the channel. After this, and all of the money went away, and they asked people not to report it. Of course, some people reported it, and now they can't find the two brothers that were running AfriCrypt. So someone had withdrawn AfriCrypt's pooled funds from local attorneys that were hired, said, and AfriCrypt employees lost access to the back-end platforms 7 days before the alleged hack. It seems like we know what happened. It doesn't seem like it was a hack. Seems like these brothers just stole $3.6 billion in crypto, in Bitcoin, and disappeared. South Africa's, and what's really interesting is South Africa's, well, it's all really interesting, but what makes this even more disgusting is South Africa's finance sector conduct authority can't even launch a formal investigation into the prices that things have become today. But this is really sad. This isn't good for crypto. This isn't good for Bitcoin. This isn't good for anybody, I suppose, other than maybe those two brothers, but I'd imagine they end up getting caught. They better. But it's not good. It drops confidence in people putting their money, and it's just too bad. I mean, this is Africa. 3.6 billion, like that's a ridiculously lot of money over in Africa compared to like America or Europe or Asia. It's just too bad. It's just way too bad. Nothing good about that. Let's dive on to the next topic, though. Again, hit that subscribe button. Help us support the channel. Hit that like button. What we know about China's cryptocurrency crackdown. So let's dive into that. Things have been going awry. Things have been going on. The price of Bitcoin and everything has been dropping. Seems in large part to China, basically. So Bitcoin finally dropped below 30,000 for the first time since January. Just did that yesterday. Went down to 28,000 something. Now, while we haven't seen reports of China flat out outlaw cryptos, government started issuing warnings about trading and mining cryptocurrencies in May. Now, that's not the first time they've done that, and they've told the country's financial giants to stop dealing in crypto. And also since then, the top 3 mining regions in the country started making moves against the miners. As you know, the mines have basically been shut down at this point. Major banks again, China again talked to the major banks again this week to reiterate that they cannot be involved with cryptocurrency transactions. This, like, China is basically saying, no, cryptocurrency can't be here. But it's important to realize China is trying to make their own cryptocurrency, basically. If there is, China may be the number one thing represented that Bitcoin is trying to, and decentralization are trying to get rid of. This amount of just authoritarian power being flexed all over everybody, financially speaking, at the very least. So here's a chart, comes from Cambridge, University of Cambridge actually, shows the mining regions in China. As you can see, Xinjiang, sorry if I'm not saying that right, and Sichuan, sorry if I'm not saying it right, they account for almost 50% of all of China's hash rate. And if you add all these up, it's estimated that they do almost 65% of the world's global hash rate. So these two alone, the top 3 have really been shut down, but all these have really been shut down in accuracy. So the great mining migration has happened. I saw a tweet today from someone that is the CEO of one of the bigger mining operations in China, and the tweet today was him sitting down having lunch in Austin, Texas. Interesting, right? Great mining migration. Chinese-based miners are moving. And check out this tweet here. China logistics firm in Guangzhou confirms that it's airlifting 3,000 kilograms of Bitcoin mining machines to Maryland, USA. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting. Again, another thing to note is since the government's proclamations to make graphics card prices in the country have fallen noticeably. So that's in China. Graphic cards are what you need to really have your mining operation. They're the key component, and they're also very, very hard to come by. You basically always have to buy them after in the reseller market, and you pay well above the retail price. But the prices have fallen because the demand has fallen because people in China are like, well, I can't even do this here. Apparently, I'm going to get in trouble for even having crypto or mining crypto or anything like that. So, mining rig, maybe now's a good time because I think graphic card prices have fallen in a lot of places, more than just China. Another thing to note is the Chinese government says it's acting now used for money laundering and illegal dealings. To that, my reaction, what a bunch of bullshit. That made me laugh out loud. Milk flying, it does not matter. Chinese government says it's acting now because of concerns around crypto's volatile price, potential use for money laundering, and illegal dealings. Yeah. Sure, China. Sure. God, I do not like you. I feel so bad for the people of China that live there and have to deal with this absolute bad bull. China is also developing its own centralized digital currency. Shocker of the century. China isn't the only country that's been making policy moves around cryptocurrency. Iran also issued a temporary ban on mining during the summer months. And India is potentially making ownership of crypto illegal. But then there's El Salvador, gone the opposite way. They became the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender. Good job, El Salvador. At least you're not ridiculously... You're smart. Good job. Iran, China... Sorry, India. I wouldn't have put you in the same category as China and Iran. But this is... I don't know much about India, honestly. I know they're poor, which is too bad. Iran and China, there's a lot of mining that goes on there. I believe China for sure. Iran, I believe, is for the size of it. I think it has a good amount of mining going on, and then they ban it. So, again, I believe Iran's a communist country, right? Maybe I'm wrong on that. But I feel like it's not exactly an American freedom-style democratic government. China's totally communist with, I don't know, 2+ billion people now. Interesting. And for the last story, Bitcoin may slump below 10,000 if this technical signal is correct. I will tell you. Now, I don't think Bitcoin's going to be going below 10,000 anytime soon. Maybe if ever again. Ever. But if it does, great. I'm going to take out loans. Me personally, not financial advice. I'm not really going to take out loans. But I'm literally going to sell lots of things to get as much money as I possibly can to buy Bitcoin if it goes below $10,000. I am going to go bananas. That's me. Not financial advice. Make your own decisions. This is the Miami mayor at the Bitcoin convention in, I believe that was May. Now, as critics point out, there is no intrinsic value, is what they say about Bitcoin. But intrinsic value, no matter what word you put, the word is value. And value is something that is just decided on by people. You can talk about the industrial uses. Yeah, sure. Gold doesn't have a lot of it has industrial use, but that's not why its value. Its value is there because of our designation of it having monetary value. Same thing with silver. Now, argument here is cost of electricity and associated computing costs required to mine Bitcoin. They're saying gives it Bitcoin value. Sure, I guess. And another's come up with an estimated global anti-fiat market, arriving at the market share, the price of Bitcoin. All that's true in reality. It just solves a lot of problems, makes things a lot better in terms of our economic and financial systems. I could go on a long rant about that, but I'm not going to do that. So this is what I really say, and I agree with this. Like Bitcoin itself, technical analysis can be waved away as some hocus pocus that only has a value because people think it has value. But if you believe in the world of Fibonacci retracement and Bollinger Bands, read on. I guess I shouldn't say I completely agree. This didn't say what I thought it said at first glance. But what I'm saying is value is something that is just decided on by people. If we decide something, enough of us decide something has value, it has value. So this hocus pocus mumbo jumbo of intrinsic value, like that's it's misleading. So Louis Navellier, chairman and founder and fund manager, Navellier and Associates, says he has identified 2 head and shoulders formations that he thinks suggest Bitcoin will fall below 10,000. So head, shoulders, right? Head, shoulders. So that's why he thinks it's going to drop, because basically it's went up and come back down to where it was at this resistance point. And now this is a support point, and he's saying he thinks it's going to break down. So he asks individual investors about why they invested in Bitcoin, and in his recollection, more often than not, it was because the price was going up. If they bought it just because it was going up, they are also likely to sell it because it is going down. I agree with that. And he thinks the break below 30,000 will lead to a major downside, as the vast majority of trading in 2021 was done above that level, leading to what traders call overhead supply. Overhead supply. So what he's saying is this is where we started the year, around 30,000. And now that we're back to 30,000, that's going to spook a lot of people into at least breaking even, because they don't want to lose $1. They don't want to lose any money. And they're not long on Bitcoin like, say, I am. I don't sell Bitcoin. I don't sell it. I just wait for opportunities to buy more of it at a more discounted price. Because once it gets to certain prices, it just will never be a certain price again, in my opinion. Like, you could have bought it at 3,000 a year ago, over a year ago, I guess. Well over 10,000 a year ago, under 10,000, excuse me. But I don't know if Bitcoin ever gets under 10,000 again, ever. My opinion. But I don't necessarily completely disagree with him here. I think, yeah, a lot of people did buy Bitcoin this time around because the price was going up. The first time I ever bought Bitcoin, that's why I bought it. But eventually you learn what Bitcoin is and what it represents and what it will become. Like if I were to say to you thousands of years ago, before we decided gold was money, if I said, hey, this gold here, I think you should really hold on to it, because I think it's going to be the new money. I think it's going to be the biggest tool of trade humanity has ever known. It's going to be the biggest store of value humanity has ever known. A lot of people thousands of years ago look at me like I'm crazy. As a matter of fact, they're so nuts. Years ago, they might have hung me up and killed me, or made me repent, whatever. No, I don't know. Something like that. You get what I'm saying? Bitcoin is the new money. And I can make a strong case for that. Agree with me, don't agree with me, well, that's my opinion. Bitcoin is becoming the new money, and it will become the new money, because everything in this world is becoming digital, and Bitcoin, from all the metrics of actually what is money is not government issued stuff. Money is something that societies deem as having value and being the best unit of trade and store of value. Mostly store of value. Savings, not spending. But spending too, I guess. I just don't want to spend any of it. He also went on to say there's a lot of leverage in Bitcoin, sometimes as much as 100 to 1, and that would also exacerbate a decline. So he is bearish on Bitcoin, at least in the short term. Another thing to note, Eric Adams, who's leading the complicated Democratic nomination to be New York City's next mayor, he believes in Bitcoin. Good to know. And Apple Daily, the pro-democracy newspaper in Hong Kong, will close after China imposed a national security law. I really don't like the Chinese Communist Party. I really don't. I can't believe this goes on. Hong Kong was run whatever by Britain until like I think it was 1996, but they've always been their own little spot in China that was a democratic, sovereign area, and then it China got to take it over, and now it's been part of the communist area, and they don't like it. I don't like it. What China does, it's just so blazingly obvious and just not for the good of anybody but the people running the Chinese Communist Party. I hate it. Anyways, Bitcoin, crypto, all that stuff. Yep, it's been down. Miners migrating. Crypto being banned in certain countries. This is inevitable, and it will get worse, because once something is seen as an actual threat to a way of current existence, people will begin to oppose it, and the more of a threat it becomes, the stronger and more violent, frankly, the opposition becomes, until inevitably the truth wins out. And the truth, I don't know how long this battle is going to be. It's still got a long ways to go. Long ways. Years and years. But Bitcoin will continually keep gaining and gaining and gaining, because anyone looking to put money into something will put it into Bitcoin. And China can't get people to agree with them. So they're trying to force their will. And that's what will happen, because Bitcoin will be the will of the people. Once you really understand what Bitcoin is and what it's doing and what it represents, you'll be on board. You'll be like, wow, this is amazing. All right, that's what I got for you today, Bulls. Check out the links in the description if you want to support the channel and actually just get $25 of free Bitcoin. Check out the link in the description. And some other fun stuff down there. Hit that sub button, hit that like button. I appreciate you watching. See you tomorrow.